1914 World War I. The British Expeditionary Force and the French Fifth Army begin their great retreat before the German Army. 1921 British airship R-38 experiences structural failure over Hull in England and crashes in the Humber Estuary. Of her 49 British and American training crew, only 4 survive. 1923 Captain Lowell Smith and Lieutenant John P. Richter perform the first mid-air refueling on de Havilland DH-4B, setting an endurance flight record of 37 hours. 1929 Hebron Massacre. During the 1929 Palestine riots, Arab attacks on the Jewish community in Hebron in the British Mandate of Palestine occur, continuing until the next day, resulting in the death of 65 to 68 Jews and the remaining Jews being forced to leave the city. 1939 World War II. Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union signed the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. In a secret protocol to the pact, Poland, Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and Romania are divided into German and Soviet spheres of influence. 1942 World War II. Beginning of the Battle of Stalingrad. The battle ended with a Soviet victory and resulted in the destruction of the German Sixth Army and Italian Eighth Army. 1943 World War II. Kharkiv is liberated by the Soviet Red Army for the second time after the Battle of Kursk. 1944 World War II. Marseille is liberated by the Allied forces. The liberation of Marseille was part of Operation Dragoon, which was launched on August 15, 1944, and aimed to liberate southern France from German occupation. 1944 World War II. King Michael of Romania dismisses the pro-Nazi government of Marshal Antonescu, who is later arrested. Romania switches sides from the Axis to the Allies. 1944 Freckleton air disaster. A United States Army Air Force's B-24 Liberator bomber crashes into a school in Freckleton, England, killing 61 people. 1945 World War II. Soviet-Japanese War. The USSR State Defense Committee issues Decree No. 9898 CC, about receiving, accommodation, and labor utilization of the Japanese Army prisoners of war. 1954 The first flight of the Lockheed C-130 multi-role aircraft takes place. The Lockheed C-130 Hercules is a 4-engine turboprop military transport aircraft that has been in service since the 1950s. 1958 Chinese Civil War. The Second Taiwan Strait Crisis begins with the People's Liberation Army's bombardment of Quemoy. 1966 Lunar Orbiter 1 takes the first photograph of Earth from orbit around the Moon. 1970 Organized by Mexican-American labor union leader Cesar Chavez, the Salad Bowl Strike, the largest farm worker strike in U.S. history, begins. 1973 A bank robbery gone wrong in Stockholm, Sweden, turns into a hostage crisis. Over the next 5 days the hostages begin to sympathize with their captors, leading to the term, Stockholm Syndrome. 1975 The start of the Wave Hill Walk-Off by Gurindji people in Australia, lasting 8 years, a landmark event in the history of Indigenous land rights in Australia, commemorated in a 1991 Paul Kelly song and an annual celebration. 1985 Hans Tiege, top counter-spy of West Germany, defects to East Germany. 1989 Singing Revolution. 2 million people from Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania stand on the Vilnius-Tallinn road, holding hands. 1990 Saddam Hussein appears on Iraqi state television with a number of Western guests, actually hostages, to try to prevent the Gulf War. 1990 West and East Germany announce that they will reunite on October 3. 1991 The World Wide Web is open to the public. 1994 Eugene Bullard, the only African-American pilot in World War I, is posthumously commissioned as second lieutenant in the United States Air Force. 2006 Natasha Kampusch, who had been abducted at the age of 10, escapes from her captor Wolfgang Priklopil, after 8 years of captivity. 2007 The skeletal remains of Russia's last royal family members Alexei Nikolaevich, Tsarevich of Russia, and his sister Grand Duchess Anastasia are discovered near Yekaterinburg, Russia. 2010 The Manila hostage crisis occurred near the Quirino Grandstand in Manila, Philippines, killing 9 people including the perpetrator while injuring 9 others. 2011 Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi is overthrown after the National Transitional Council forces take control of Bab al-Azizia compound during the Libyan civil war.